Hi.
Well, welcome to the second month release for the Kaffe V Mystery from So Unique Threads. I'm Judy.
I'm Lori.
And we're back again to share with you what you're going to get in your lovely plastic bread bag. You know we love these. So this month you're going to be getting 10 beautiful Kaffe fabrics in a red pink kind of colorway. They're 4.5 inches wide. And then you're going to get a piece of the Orchid Aboriginal dot, and we're going to be cutting that into pieces. So we're going to start with the wonderful, and almost forgot, a little gift, hey? You always have to have a new ruler, so we could, I'll use a new tool. This is a Dresden tool, ruler, and has a point turner, so you'll get to use both pieces that are included in there. So everybody gets one of those this month. So with your Dresden ruler, release it from the cellophane, break it apart, and we're going to use it for cutting out some wedges from these strips. So you're going to take your ruler, line it up on the 4.5 inch line on the fabric. Now these are hand cut. We're hoping that they're all 4.5, but please be patient because
I just cut mine out and they were really good.
Were they pretty close?
Yeah, they were good.
Okay,
yeah.
good. So the first cut is going to be, you're going to just trim off the outside edge. You want to get rid of that selvage with the non-print and with the little holes on the end. So you want to make one cut there. And then you can continue to cut here on this side of the ruler. But if you'd like to flip your
Depends on if you're right-handed or left-handed. I'm right, Judy's left, so it's always kind of different. But you'll have an angle here already.
And you'll lay your ruler here, and then you'll begin cutting the next cut. You'll rotate your ruler here. Again, keeping it on the 4.5 inch line, and you're going to repeat that down to the strip, and you're going to cut 7 wedges, but you're going to get you're going to get 14.
7 sets of wedges, yeah.
You're cutting 2 at each time, so 7 cuts per strip. You'll get 14 wedges from each of these. So,
and sometimes it's helpful to mark that 4.5 inch line on there with like maybe some painter's tape. I know they make stickers that you can do that because you know, you don't want to, the angle is going to be same no matter where you place this ruler here, so you don't want to make a mistake. You want to go all the way from the bottom of the ruler to the 4.5 inch line.
So line it up. So have fun with those, working with those beautiful colors. And then with the Aboriginal print, we're going to ask that you cut 28, yes, 28 6.5 inch squares. Keep them safe. You'll be using them in a little bit. And anything that's left over from here, keep that safe as well. So you'll have your 28 6.5 inch squares.
And there's going to be scraps left over from the strips. This is what's left over from the strips.
Each of the strips.
So if you make a mistake, which none of you are going to do that, right?
Nobody makes a mistake.
There'll be a little extra. That's right. There'll be a little extra, and I think we're using some of this later, or maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh dear. And then of course you do get instructions, but we're going to kind of walk you through what the next steps are. Now that you have all your cutting done, what are we going to do next?
We've got our wedges here. So the way I sewed them together is I did them in.
It gets paid to do that.
I know, big bucks. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this in half, right sides together. You're going to do a 1/4 inch seam across the top. You're also going to do a 1/4 inch seam across the bottom.
If you choose
to. What this does is this finishes your top side and also finishes your bottom side. Now an alternative to doing this on the bottom is to not do it. Just leave it straight and you have a raw edge that's curved like this. Now an alternate way to do it is you just turn this under a 1/4 inch, press it real good, and then applique it down. Another way to do it is to put a piece of trim over that raw edge and sew that down, rickrack or some kind of trim.
Yeah, we have a really pretty orange rickrack over there.
Yeah. So there are alternatives. We chose to do it with the points on the bottom because we thought that looked really cute. So fold this in half, sew across the top, sew across the bottom. When you're done doing the end, you can like chain piece this. You know, you can do a million in an hour.
There's a little picture of that on the...
Yeah. When it's sewn, you're going to clip the corners on both sides, trim them, and then you're going to turn them inside out using your point turner to do that, to push out the points. I don't have one of those to do.
Because you did them all.
I did them all, yeah. So you're going to push out the points and you'll end up with a wedge like this. And then what I did once I got all my wedges made, you press them real good, press them flat. You kind of line up that seam in the center so you make sure it's even. Then you sew them together in pairs like this. But you got a 5-blade fan. So don't sew them all together in pairs or you'll be doing some unsewing. So
nobody unsews.
with 28 blocks, set aside 28 singles so you can add those later. But the way I sew them, you can also chain piece these, is like I started in like maybe a 1/4 inch, then I back stitch to the edge and then continue stitching forward and then went to the end and back stitch in a little bit. And what this does is that keeps your thread tails from sticking on up over the part you want to applique down.
I didn't include any of that in the instructions.
And that's a secret tip that you get for watching the video.
I just had used a tighter stitch and then
A tighter
lock
stitch,
it in.
yep.
So
Yep.
I did that. But let's see.
And then
I think it's
press the seams open.
It reduces the bulk and gives you a nice flat finish
Yep.
to your 5-blade fan.
Yep.
So once you have those all done, all pressed and ready, how pretty.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to applique them on your 6.5 inch square. So these edges should hit your edges of your square.
They will.
If they don't,
You all have a rotary cutter.
yeah. And I won't tell them that there was a couple of these that I trimmed before I came today.
Well, I just messed that up. I just shared that secret with everybody.
Yeah. So you don't sweat it. Just trim it off.
No.
Applique it down. Now you can applique it however you like to do it. I used a buttonhole stitch with monofilament thread, and as I was doing it, I thought, oh, that'd be really cute with black thread to do the buttonhole stitch. You could also top stitch real close to the edge. This edge and this edge, we're appliquing
You have
both
to
of them
do
down.
both the upper
Yep.
and the lower edges there.
Or an edge stitch, you could do a small zigzag stitch. You could do it by hand.
Hand applique.
Yes.
I love hand applique. And I'm going on a trip, so I might have to pack the hand applique.
I've also seen it done where they just stitched like curves
Like
in
a gentle
here.
curve?
Yeah, a gentle curve in here to keep it down, because this whole back side of this is finished all the way down here. So it'd be a little dimensional with your points, and that'd be really cute too.
It would be. You'd have to consider though how you're going to have this project quilted at the end, because those loose edges will cause an issue for long armors.
Yep.
So they'll make you baste them down.
Yeah. Oh,
From what I hear.
that would not be fun.
No.
So,
Well, just letting you know ahead of time. So if you plan that.
so 28 blocks, and then you've got your blocks from last month.
So last month you
I
should have
think you-
completed 12 hole in the barn door
Yeah.
or monkey wrench. The list of names for this classic block is pretty long, and so you're going to have the yellow starting. We're going to bring in some of the red, the bright. Like we said, it's going to be bright and dark all at the same time.
Do not sew your blocks together like this. Do not sew your blocks together like this, because this
There's
is not.
no instructions for sewing blocks together yet.
This is not what we're doing.
These
That's
are
cute.
These are units.
Yeah, units. So
So if you have any questions, call the shop. We'll try our very, very best to help you out. Otherwise, we'll see you next month for the 3rd month of K5.
bye.
Bye.